let them whisper.
Hi, welcome to Let 'Em Talk. I'm Paul DiRienzo. We have a great show for you, especially if you're a music fan and a jazz fan. We're going to be talking with the band members of Euphoria, right? Nick and Evan. Nick and Evan. I'm Paul DiRienzo. Paul, Nick, and Evan. And we're going to be talking to you about this wonderful band, because I spent the afternoon listening to your stuff on YouTube, and it was great, and it was really fun to listen, because you guys were, Eric Dolphy, who I read in some of the liner notes I went with the YouTube videos, is someone who influenced your work, and he's one of my great heroes. I actually have albums of his. If there's anybody out there, you can tell you're a true jazz fanatic if you have an Eric Dolphy album. And and you worked with Chico Hamilton, who passed away recently at the age of 92, ripe old age, and who created a tremendous amount of work. And when I mentioned this on my Facebook page, folks told me that back in the 80s, when they were in school, Chico visited their school, I think it was a high school or junior high school, and was showing them about rhythm and drumming and things like that. And he said it was one of the most memorable days he ever had in high school was when that happened. So, people were responding that we were having you guys on tonight. So that was really fun. And of course, you were great jazz musicians in your own right. What's your axe? Evan? What's your axe?
Well, primarily tenor saxophone, alto, flute, soprano sax, baritone sax, clarinet, bass clarinet, flute, I said flute already, and piccolo.
Oh, wow, great.
A little piano. But in the band, I don't play piano.
Okay.
But I just play those horns.
And what do you play?
I play guitar. In the band, I just play guitar. But Chico used to call him a reedologist, because it just to have a label for all those instruments he just said.
Right, plays a reed.
Right.
Right. Great. So guitar and reeds. And tell us a little bit about the history of Euphoria. You guys have obviously been around for a while. How many members are in the band? What kind of music do you play? Tell us about it.
Well, if you were to ask Chico that question, what kind of music he would play, he would probably say, good, and leave it at that. But Euphoria, we've been around, Euphoria itself has been around for quite a long time with different permutations. I've been in the band since 2000, and the current format of the band is myself on reeds. We have a flute player. She plays alto flute and piccolo also, so that's two horns up front. Electric guitar, bass, and drums, and percussion. But Chico's no longer with us, so the percussionist is playing drums now.
Right, I see. And so Chico is the drummer, of course.
Right, of course.
Right. And did Euphoria, did it exist, begin separately from Chico, or did you work, was it Chico's band, or?
Yeah, that was Chico's working band.
So, would you guys, what are some of the adventures you had? What are some of the places you played? Where did you go with him?
I've been in the band for 5 years, so I haven't been in it as long as Evan has. But since I joined the band, it was mostly we've just played around the East Coast, because I think Chico really didn't want to fly that much at that point. So just D.C., Baltimore, New York, and just any place we could drive is pretty much what we did.
Sure, great.
Before that, we went to L.A. We did the Jazz Bakery in 2000, which was a 5 to 6 day run. We did the Free Jazz Festival in Brazil, Sao Paulo, and Rio. We also did some random tours of Denver and Seattle. So we definitely went all over. It was a great run. I got a chance to see a lot of the world. It was great.
Great. Tell us a little bit about. We're gonna in a couple of minutes. We're gonna play a clip of you guys playing in your present permutation. But tell us. I still want to know more about, because whenever we talk about a famous jazz musician from the day, I want to know some more. Tell us a little bit about Chico, about his background and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, well.
And then go ahead. What you were going to ask? Go right ahead. Jump right in.
Chico's from Los Angeles.
Yes.
I'm from Los Angeles. So I think when we initially met, he was like, "I know I liked you for a reason." So he said he liked me because I'm from LA. But one time I was feeling downtrodden. I was like, "I'm thinking of going back to LA," and he's like, "No." He's like, "You can't go back to LA." He's like, and he started, saying all these bad things about LA. And then that very day, he wrote a song called "No Way LA," which was on our last album. But so when Chico graduated high school, in his graduating class was Dexter Gordon, I think who else?
Charles Mingus.
Wardell Gray was.
No, not Wardell. It was
Did it say high school
Buddy Collette.
graduating?
High school,
Yeah.
Los Angeles
So-
Central High School. Yeah.
Mingus, Dexter, Buddy Collette, the Royal brothers, Ernie and Marshall. I think there was some other cat. I mean,
Yeah, we're forgetting some people.
yeah, but that's a heck of a band right there.
Right,
Yeah.
We're just not graduating. I was a heck of a high school
Illinois
band.
Jacquette also.
Illinois Jacquette.
Illinois Jacquette. He
Wow.
actually, I heard he transferred from somewhere else. He transferred in.
Uh-huh.
So
Into the school to play.
yeah, that's a nice
Interesting.
place. You know.
Wow, interesting. So, and then, over the years, he played with, all the greats,
Right.
in the 40s, 50s, 60s, I
Mhm.
imagine, right?
Yep.
Big band style or more like cool jazz? Like,
Well, actually, he told us that he got his first break with Lionel Hampton. Well, actually, he did I think a 2-month stint with Duke Ellington when he was 16 years old. Because Sonny,
Sonny Greer.
Sonny Greer apparently fell off the bandstand.
oh,
Well, I mean, the story goes the format of the drum, the whole big band stage was you had like a pyramid. On top of the pyramid was the drums, and apparently he fell off. So somebody,
wow, the dangers of performing, right?
right, and somebody called Chico, and he stepped right in. The guy was
No.
in high school.
Actually, no. It's well. The story I heard was that because there was no like cell phones or answering machines. So Chico said he was walking home, and there was a guy sitting on his front porch,
Right.
and the guy was like, "Hey, Duke Ellington needs a drummer. You want to come with me?" And they went right there, and the band was already playing. That's what he told me.
Right. Yeah.
And he just went up, just sat in the spot and
He just
started
started playing.
I guess back then, like you knew all the tunes anyway by ear, so he was just playing by ear.
Sure.
And Duke, he told me that Duke said to him, "Just keep one eye on me, and one eye on, I guess the band or something like that."
The bass
Yeah.
player, maybe. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Right.
And so from there, I think he did a stint with Lionel Hampton, also.
I see. Wow.
And of course, I mean, being a drummer back then, you had to play the big band style. But after he got out of the war, that's when he started doing more small group stuff.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the 50s and late
Right,
40s.
with Jerry
and
Mulligan
50s.
Quartet, the first, the groundbreaking group with Chet Baker, Jerry, and Chico. So,
But he played with Art Tatum,
Yeah.
Slim and Slam, Sammy Davis Jr., Ella Fitzgerald,
Billie
Billie
Holiday,
Holiday,
Lena
Lena
Horne.
Horne. I
Yeah.
mean, just like
Wow.
basically
Well,
everyone.
just to be
Yeah.
to be in the presence of folks who played with somebody who played with all those people
Right.
is great. We're real honored to have you on Let Them Talk. And so, what I want to do now is segue and play the one of the videos that we found on YouTube of your band playing, of Euphoria playing. Let's go to that now. Get a little sample of the music. So, Deshaun, take it. Wow, great, great, great. I'm glad we were able to have it. Yes, go ahead.
That was actually No Way LA, coincidentally.
That was it. No Way
That
LA.
was a perfect segue.
And that was great. No Way LA. All right, great. And that was the story you were telling right before. Right now, you guys are, well, No Way LA, Yes Way New York, because you guys are playing Lower East Side
Yes.
on Avenue A. And tell us where you'll be playing tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night at Drome on Avenue A. I believe the address is 88 Avenue A. It's between 5th and 6th, 7:15. And we're going to
PM?
play, yep, we're going to play one 75-minute set.
Oh, great. So
Yeah.
be there 7:15 p.m. tomorrow at the Drome.
It's a CD release for our new record, The Inquiring Minds.
The Inquiring Minds is your new record. All right, great. And that's available in all the usual places, right?
Yeah, it's going to drop, I believe, tomorrow. Within the next few days, it's going to be available on CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon.
The
you name it.
usual.
Yep.
That's what, whenever we have music, they always say the same things. Great. So the usual places, if you're interested in this music and you want to hear more of this great band, Euphoria. And we were just talking about how Euphoria is a great band in and of itself. It was the band that worked very closely with Chico Hamilton, the great, and we were talking earlier about all the great experiences that he brought into it. And he was the drummer. And who is the drummer there? We saw you guys.
Jeremy Carlstead was playing drums, yeah.
Okay.
He was Chico's student also. I think he joined the band in 2005.
Okay, great.
So it was a very special relationship they had. It was like a mentorship, you know.
The email I got from a friend of mine who was in high school when Chico Hamilton came to his school to play said that Chico Hamilton took basically some items that he found in the school, like a block of wood, a paintbrush, and some other items, and he said he just took them at random and he started playing them and showing people how rhythms came from anything, and he said he wowed the whole school.
Well, one of my favorite things about rehearsing with him was like whenever we would be playing something, and Evan knows this is hilarious, we would be playing something, you know, we're younger, we get excited, we start playing too fast, Chico would just take like a pencil or a fork or like something you scratch your back with, and he would just start like tapping a rhythm. And it's like actually painfully slow, and that's like one of the greatest things that I got from playing with him is that I learned how to play slow and make it seem interesting, because you know, you want to play fast, you want to play a lot, you want to like shred, you want to do whatever, but like, you know, do you really want to hear that, or is it, it's just like that's easy for me to do at least, and what's really hard is to play slow. So that's one of the things I gained from that.
Wow, great. Music is amazing that way. Let me, your philosophy of music. I'll just throw that out.
Philosophy of music in general?
Yes.
Well, how about, let's take it from music that I like to play.
Sure.
So, my philosophy, well, basically, I want to have a solid foundation. I want to take a beautiful rhythm that swings. Now it could change up. There could be different moods, and then I'm going to have the bass doing something, the chords. Everybody's working together like a team. And then on top of that, you have a nice melody. And for me personally, I guess maybe I was influenced by Chico. Obviously, I was. So for me, the importance is not on the improv, but it's mostly on the melody. So it's more important what happens there. The solo, you know, you can work that works itself out.
Right.
You know.
You do whatever you want.
Right. So
That's
basically, I just want to play something that feels good. You know.
Now, what do you think that is jazz as popular now as it's ever been? Is it going through changes? What's the future of jazz, do you think?
I think jazz is probably more popular now than it's ever been, but it's very less focused. I mean, now there's jazz musicians in every part of the world. Every place a jazz musician goes, they leave a seed there, and then there's jazz musicians in China, Turkey, any place you can think of. There's probably a saxophone player, a guitar player, and I think jazz is like one of the greatest tools for learning about music, learning about the building blocks of like how to improvise, learning about your instrument, and I can't think of, jazz permeates everything I do. I mean, I play with theater companies, I do stuff with modern dance, I do like everything, and I'm always, thinking about things from a jazz perspective, even though I might not be playing jazz. You know, I'm just trying to listen, I'm trying to watch people, I'm trying to communicate, interact, and that's something that jazz musicians just do. I think jazz might be the music of the future because a jazz musician can like improvise like a like a classical piece. I mean, if I tried to,
It seems to be moving into the rock field. I mean, even rock musicians want to be playing jazz now. It seems like.
yeah, I mean, if you tried to play like a Wes Montgomery solo as if it was a classical piece, it'd probably be really difficult. More than so than playing like a normal classical guitar piece, and he just made it up on the spot. So if you think about that, that's pretty complex music that was just spontaneously composed.
What about jazz and maybe I don't know if I'm coming out of left field, but jazz and social change. We're talking about kids who were poor, came out of poor backgrounds and were able to come out of the ghetto, come out of the poor environments that they were in, and facing the challenges they faced, and embrace jazz and become world traveled, world adventured. An amazing change. You would say, how could you possibly come from Watts, from Central High in L.A., one of the poorest schools in America, and become one of the great musicians known all over the world?
Well, I mean, there's music programs everywhere. We've actually we did something in Newark, New Jersey, which is a lot of people say it's a struggling, I guess economic community.
Yeah.
But we did something there with Chico actually in 2005. And we were all really surprised that all the kids, they were really good on their instruments. They could all play. I mean, there's kids in all kinds of neighborhoods playing music, and I think as long as they have good teachers and the Board of Education supports it. I mean, it takes money, unfortunately, because they have to have instruments. And they have to be able to pay teachers to come in. So as long as you have those two ingredients, I think that it's definitely possible for any kind of person to play jazz music.
Mayor de Blasio, I hope you're watching right now. You live in Manhattan now, not in Brooklyn, so you could be watching this right now.
Well,
so
I myself am a product of the New York City public school system.
Oh, great,
So,
great. Tell me a little bit about your backgrounds.
Well,
Where'd you grow up?
well, yeah. So I grew up in Queens, and so I started playing saxophone in junior high school in Forest Hills, Queens. Junior high school 190, Russell Sage.
Okay.
And from there, I went to LaGuardia High School, music and art, right around the corner, right?
Sure.
And from there, I went to the New School. I met Chico,
Okay.
and bada bing, bada boom.
There you go, right.
Yeah.
And you're L.A.
Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, West Los Angeles. I played violin, I played trumpet, I love playing trumpet, and then, my sisters were playing piano, and I was just hated it when they would practice. I just was totally over music. And then by the time they stopped playing, my mom was making them practice, take lessons. They stopped. One day I just picked up a guitar and just started playing, and then that was it. I just played guitar for the rest of my life. And I played in Los Angeles, a lot of funk bands, a lot of jazz groups, and then I moved to New York in '97, and I started my own group here called Exegesis, and then I met Chico in 2008 through Jeremy and through Evan, I guess, and I started working with that group.
Wow. Well, it seems like Chico's really the hub of the wheel here. It's like bringing you all together. And
Well, he was the master. I mean, basically, he was taking musicians who were good already, but he was basically pointing us in the right direction. It was really the ultimate experience.
Right, great. Let's so you guys are playing. Let's give folks. You can see these guys. They're playing tomorrow night, which is today's Tuesday. So tomorrow night's Wednesday night, right? The
Drome.
at the drum. But what's tomorrow's date?
12th.
Oh,
The
sorry.
12th, February 12th, Lincoln's birthday. Interesting,
that's
right?
right. Very
Exactly. So you're playing the 12th, Lincoln's birthday,
Cool.
at the Drome on Avenue A, 88 Avenue A, between 88 Keys on the piano.
Right, and it's www.dromenyc.com.
Okay,
for
great.
Tickets, information, stuff like that.
All right, great. And let's we got a minute or two. Let's play another clip. The next clip that we have up, Deshaun, let it rip. And this is Let Them Talk. I'm Paul DiRienzo. We're here every Tuesday. And in a minute, we're going to be watching, and you can see these guys. You just look up Euphoria on YouTube, or whatever just do your favorite search engine, and you can be listening to this great music. So we'll be hearing it, an example, in just one moment. So what are you guys, while we're waiting for the setup? What are you guys? What's next for you? You gonna be playing this regular gig now, every
Right.
once a month, or
Yeah, once a month.
Once a month,
Yeah.
at Drum.
Yep.
And You have an album out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name of the album again is
The Inquiring Mind.
The Inquiring Mind.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, all the music. Well, we each wrote a composition on it, but all the music was written by Chico, except other than those. And the way that there's so much material this band has that we haven't recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every single rehearsal, Chico would write a new composition.
Right.
And it was like, and he didn't want to rehearse the old stuff. He just wanted to generate new material.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
always
was.
moving
how did he
forward.
write? How did, like
He would sing something. Sometimes he would wake up with a melody.
Yeah.
And he would call me up and ask me to get to rehearsal like 10, 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
So I'd show up, and he'd be like, hey, get your horn out, man. So I'd be playing this thing, and then he's like, all right, sounds good. And then Nick would show up, and he'd go, hey, Nick, go like this.
Yeah.
And he
Exactly.
goes, okay, I haven't played the melody. And then
Wow.
somehow it turned into a great piece of music.
But he would take it and he would flip it around, play it
Right.
fast, play it slow, play it in
Right,
3/4,
right.
play it in 4/4. He would explore every angle of this thing, and then after 45 minutes, he had this this thing that we'd play,
Wow. And he would be 19 years old, so he was doing this at the age of 19.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, Euphoria. And that was with the great Chico Hamilton on drums.
Yes,
playing.
sir.
He was doing the beat back in the background there. That's great. So, where was that?
Drum.
That was
That
drum.
was a drum,
That
mhm.
was a drum. Okay, and where you guys will be tomorrow night
Yes, sir.
at 7:15 p.m. for 75 minutes. So be there. It'll be a great show, and I'll definitely be there. So you
Great.
can meet me too, and see this great band. And And you have your new CD
Yep.
again,
Inquiring Minds.
Inquiring Minds. And what beyond that? We had 90 seconds. What do you like to add in the last 90 seconds of the show? Anything to know about your music or what you want to do or what the band's doing?
Well, I guess be on the lookout. I'm going to be recording a CD of my own in the coming year. And this guy has got some interesting things going on.
Yeah, if you go to nickdemopoulos.com, you can see everything. I can't squeeze it into 90 seconds, but you can see more about me, nickdemopoulos.com. And we're going to be at Drum every month until June, once a month. So you can see us there, too, if you don't come tomorrow.
March 16th, April 27th, May 18th, and June 22nd.
And that's drum.
www.dromnyc.com, dromnyc.com.
Okay, great. DrumNYC.com, and you can get the schedule and be able to be there and see these guys. And wow, the Reed Man, right? Nick the Reed Man, and
Evan the Reed Man.
Evan the Reed Man. Nick Evan the Reedologist.
Yeah.
Right, and Nick the guitar strummer. You're doing more than strumming up there, and what a great band, and great to have you on here and to talk about this great jazz history, which is America's music, which is now spread all over the world. It's really our greatest cultural contribution as Americans to the world, and black music as well, coming from the African American position, something we've been able to give to the world. So thank you so much for
Thanks for
helping
having
do
us
that.
on.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.